Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and time for Fun Friday. I am telling the truth, I am recording this early because when you see this, me and Tom will be on our way to Coldwater. Well, Bronson first, and then to Coldwater. But I want to make sure I get my Fun Friday in. So, our healthy snack today is going to be oatmeal peanut butter energy bites. I made these a long time ago for Tom, and he absolutely loved them. So I thought, well, let's do it again. So we're going to take a cup and a half of oatmeal. We're going to take a half a cup of peanut butter and a quarter cup of honey and melt it together. I'm going to mix it good together here. I saved you from going through the microwave process. Oh, that smells so good. And we're going to pour it right on there. Alright, and then we're going to use a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. And a quarter teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Why not? Not like we can't, right? We're the ones mixing it up. It's okay. Now I'm going to mix this part together first. Yeah, he loved these before. I kept them in the refrigerator. And then you can put them in a bowl. You put them in an airtight bowl, they'll last for 10 days. And they're really delicious. And they're good for you too. Good combination. And then we're going to use a quarter of a cup of mini chocolate chips. I didn't realize I had any, and I found a bag that I'd opened up in the cupboard. And I'm like, there we go. And I still have some left, so I guess we can figure something else out with them too. I very seldom buy many ones because usually it's just regular ones. So I'm excited about tomorrow. We've got the grandkids coming at 5 a.m. and then we have to drop off AJ at about 7:20. We drop off Emmy at 7. And then we're going to get right on the highway after that, and we're going to head down to Bronson. That's where that new store we want to try. It's an Amish but not Amish store. They used to be Amish. They're not anymore. They just left the whatever you call that, but they still, yeah. And then we're going to go over to Coldwater and go to Ponderosa for lunch. And then Tom's going to come back and visit his friend. So, these are all mixed up. Look at that. We're going to take a small scoop. I apologize, I can't tip my thing down here. So let me pull it down lower so that you can see what I'm doing. Then I'll have to pull it back up. My old one, it's the same brand. You could flip it up and down. This one you can't. And then you're just going to roll these into balls. They're a bit sticky till they get set up, but that's okay. I'll wash my hands after I get these done, and then I won't be so sticky. But they really are good in protein too. You know, it's got the peanut butter and stuff with them, so. Oh, is it a mess on my hands? You can also take an 8x8 pan and you can flatten it out in there. For some reason, my balls don't want to stay in balls. I'm just going to take some out and do it that way. Alright, this is not working. I'll be right back. So I decided we're going to do something a little different. We're going to pour it all into an 8x8 pan. And then we're going to mush it down. I think if I'd have let it cool a little bit more, it would have probably rolled out a little better. Last time I made them with maple syrup. And maybe that's the difference. Maybe it's not as sticky. Or maybe it's more stickier. How's that? A little bit of spray on there. Oh, that goes a lot easier. There we go. Same deal. You can just cut it into small squares. Same idea. I'm going to try a little bit. Still is good. Let me put this in the... Oh, wait. Didn't show you guys. That is really, really good. It's kind of sweet, too. Alright, so I got that put in the refrigerator. So, our fun facts for today, there's only 10 of them, but I thought they'd be funny, and I haven't read them yet. 10 fun facts about grandparents, because I've noticed there's a lot of us grandparents out here. So, the average American will be a grandparent for half of his or her adult life. I hope so. The average age of becoming a grandparent is 48, according to the AARP. Let's see. I'm 57. I was 52, so I don't fit in the average. If 18 is considered the beginning of adulthood, the average person will live 30 years as an adult before becoming a grandparent. Since the average lifespan is about 38 or 78, the average person is more than likely to be a grandparent for 30 years. I really hope so. Most grandparents don't see spoiling their grandkids as a special role. I disagree with that. 37% that says spoiling is a part of grandparenting role, but almost as many as 30% said that no one should spoil children. The remaining respondents said that either the parents should spoil the children or both grandparents and parents should. I don't call it spoiling. I call it lots of loving. If I was rich, my grandkids would want for nothing. And they still have to mind and whatever, but, you know, I like to spoil my grandkids. 1/10 of American children live with a grandparent. The U.S. Census Bureau figure includes both grandchildren being raised by grandparents and multi-generational households, those with grandparents, parents, and children. Most of these households include at least 2 grandchildren and many more. I don't know if I want a multi-generational house. I mean, I would if they didn't have any place to go. But I would love to have a multi-generational piece of property. You know what I mean? Where we all live on one, you know, not like we're some kind of crazy people or anything, but where, you know, my grandkids could actually walk to my house or to Mimi's house. That's what they call the other grandma. And, you know, they would feel comfortable going to any place. I would take them in if they needed to, though. A grandparent does not have an inherent right to have contact with a grandchild. That is true, and it's sad. Because a lot of kids don't let their parents see their grandkids. Well, if they've done something bad, I could understand it. Grandparents aren't sitting by the phone. As much as they want to hear from their grandchildren, most grandparents are far too busy and active to sit around waiting for a phone call. In fact, the best way to reach them may be on their cell. Besides having a myriad of interests, many grandparents also have jobs. 3/4 of those between 45 and 64 are still in the workforce. My son tells me all the time, he goes, I always forget how old you and Tom are getting to be. I don't know if that's good or bad. But then you still expect the same amount from us. Today's grandparents spend more time on their grandchildren than did their counterparts in the past. My parents did not take my kids a lot. So I think that I spend more time with them. My kids didn't stay here with them. But I haven't had AJ or Emmy overnight either. But I disagree with that. I want to be a grandma like my grandma was, and to show my grandkids that I'm here all the time for them. Not that my mom didn't, but yeah, she just didn't spend the time. But she was busy building her business and everything. And would I like to spend more time with my grandkids? Yes. But, you know, there's work and everything else to do too. Wow. Most grandparents report never receiving gifts from their own grandparents despite having a loving relationship. My grandma, I didn't know my other grandparents. I knew my mom's parents, and that's my grandma and grandpa, and I love them with all my heart and soul. And my grandma, every year, she would send us a birthday card with $1 in it. And every year, she would give us a Christmas card with $5 in it. And I remember my one cousin who had rich grandparents on the other side. And she was kind of cutting on my grandparents online, and I'm like, don't you dare do that. They may not have had a lot of money, but you know something? They had something that money could never buy. And they had the love and the time for us kids. And I think most of my greatest memories in my childhood involve my grandparents. And I hope that I can do the same for my grandkids. All right, grandmothers outnumber grandfathers, but that could change. Because women live longer than men, grandmothers outnumber grandfathers 124 to 100. But that is expected to drop significantly by 2020. However, the numbers could continue to even out. Another trend that is noticed to be happening. These are kind of boring, aren't they? Sorry, guys. Grandchildren often seen their grandparents as having closed minds. Grandparents are seen as less tolerant of different races, cultures, and beliefs than younger generations. Perhaps it's because the grandparent demographic is less diverse than younger segments of the population. I disagree 100%. Like, were my grandparents a little bit more closed-minded? Sure. They came from a little town and there wasn't a whole lot of different culture and stuff, but I think in this day and age, I think that us grandparents nowadays, I think we're very open to a lot of things, maybe more so than, like, I sometimes think that they're too strict on my grandsons. And I teach my grandsons not to be, you know, racist, or, you know, you don't, you know, look down on people if they're in different socioeconomic, you know, and like Emmy or AJ helps with the homeless. Emmy will be in next year, hopefully. So I disagree with that. About 15% of grandparents care for grandchildren while parents at work. I honestly think that that's more. I don't keep them all day. I suppose that I could. But with the prices of daycare and stuff now, I think there are more grandparents that are helping their kids out so that they don't have to pay as much in daycare. Modern grandparents are, well, modern. 75% of the grandparents are online, and that percentage is continually rising. However, only 10% sport a tattoo. No word on whether that figure is going up or down. That figure is not going up with me. I do not have a tattoo, and I will die not having a tattoo. But you see a lot of people my age and younger, and like the people that are tattooing their faces and everything else. I can't imagine what grandparents will look like. That's going to be crazy. That wasn't a funny list. I'm sorry, you guys. Usually they're pretty funny, but that one wasn't. But if you're a grandparent, comment below and see what you think about those things. It's not okay to spoil cream. Are you kidding me? You know, I don't know that it's spoiling or if it's truthfully loving them. I do notice as a grandparent, I have more patience and more tolerance. But at the same time, the same things that irritated me with my kids irritate me with my grandkids. And like Emmy will throw himself on the floor, and I'm like, no, this is grandma's, and we don't tolerate that. And I go, do we, Daddy? And he's like, no, grandma doesn't tolerate that. So, but I have more patience, you know, than I did. And I think it's because maybe it's not that your life slows down so much, but you've went through so much that you learn to appreciate every single moment that you have with them. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that could be. I think that's why I'm focusing, you know, not on just getting my diabetes under control and getting weight off. I want to be able to keep up with my grandsons. Like right now, there's so many things I can't do because I can't walk very far. And I want that to change. And, you know, like I can remember AJ, he had just discovered what death was. And this was about a year ago. And he looked at me and he goes, Grandma, are you going to die? And I almost cried. And I said, honey, I will stay here as long as I possibly can. Because Grandma doesn't want to leave you. And I can remember losing my grandparents. And it was the hardest thing forever. And like, I still miss my grandma to this day. She died in 1990. I take her up birthday flowers and Christmas. I miss her every day. And I hope that for you guys and for me, that our grandkids love us that much. And that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Because I think that we touch parts of them that their parents don't understand. We do, because we've already been through it. And, you know, they're in the same stage that we were, where it's like, God, if we just get out of diapers or blah, blah, blah. And I say that with Emmy too. But, you know, it'll happen when it happens. But I'm sorry if it bored you guys today. I really am. Hopefully I'll do a video today, well, tomorrow technically, of us going down there and checking out the new store. Maybe show you Tom munching down big time. Ponderosa is one of his favorite places. And he's never been to the one in Coldwater. I have. But, it's kind of nice. It sucks for the money that he's not working overtime, but it's kind of nice that on Fridays we can actually go do something, where we've not been able to do that before because he had to be to work, you know, on Saturday mornings. And so that's been kind of nice. But I promise I'll try to find a better list for next week that's a little bit more funny. I thought maybe being grandparents would be funny. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful Friday. You know, hopefully you get out of work on time and that starts the weekend amazing. And if you get a chance to love up on those grandkids, do it. I know tomorrow morning I'm going to be feeding my grandkids some pancakes and bacon, and I'll have them for a couple hours before we got to take them to daycare. So that'll be fun. Love your family today. Give them a hug and a kiss. Give those ones that you can't, give them a call. Tell them how much you love them. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. I really love each one of you. And I will see you when I do the video of us going down there. But no dinner video tomorrow, because Tom won't be here. He'll be at his friend's. I said on Thankful Thursday he's going to go see Reed tomorrow. He was in the hospital for 72 days. So Reed called him and he goes, I'm home. And he sounds so weak, you guys. But he's like, can you come see me? And they've been friends since they were like 5th grade or 4th grade or something. So a long time. So he's going to go over and see him tomorrow night. So you guys have a really great day. And sorry I'm recording it a day early, but you'll still get it on Friday. That's when I'll release it. All right. So I do love you guys. You have an amazing day. And I will talk to you later.